Welcome back, blade fans, to another knife review by OG Blade Reviews. Thanks for coming back if you've been here before, or welcome if you haven't. So hope you do continue to stop by and also subscribe to the channel so you're notified every time a new review drops, and there will be plenty of them. There have been plenty of them, especially lately. I've got lots of blades ahead to show you in the days and weeks and months to come. Kansept sent me this neat knife, a design by Marco Knives. That's Marco Pannella, an Italian knife designer. 3.46 inch. We'll get some other specs in a moment. Bronze anodized, CPM S35 VN. And if you're unfamiliar with Kansept, this is the box you get. It's a neat drawer style that's actually very sturdy and well constructed. Inside the envelope, we usually get instructions, warranties, and I won't open it up, and a microfiber cloth. You always get a microfiber cloth. I don't know too many knife companies that don't give you that. And then inside of that, like the Easter eggs here, we have a flapped pouch and the NAF. This one, let's see if we can get in a little closer, is called the Hira, as you saw on the label. H-I-R-A. It means flat in Japanese, but also is a name that aligns with, you can see the ano is kind of uneven there. I just hit it with some Windex before the review, but had to do it again. And, you know, it's just picking up oils on the hands and so forth. I find bronze ano does tend to change color more quickly than some of the darker ones. Anyway, you know, live with it. It's a bead blasted finish. So, you know, it's a little smooth for sure. At any rate, I'd probably, if I had to do this again, request the natural titanium finish. And there are other, I think there's black as well as some other finishes in this Hira. So, as a design by Marco Pannella, Marco Knives. And there you go. And we can see why, or perhaps I'll explain why, it is called the Hira, because it takes its name from Hira Zukuri. However, in studying some of the Williams blade line and having done reviews on those, that double grind that you see there is more in line and in keeping with the Osoraku Zukuri blade style. The Hira Zukuri blade style is going to look more like that. One straight grind all the way up. So that's the HZ4 from Columbia River, which is a Williams design. That's a James Williams design. This is a Chris Williams design. This is the spectral carbon fiber unibody. They're integral, all one piece of the spectral carbon fiber, a very dense carbon fiber, rated at 100,000 openings and closings with no fatigue to that lock bar. Hardened steel insert. I've done reviews on this before and have included it recently in a review of a newer, larger Osoraku Zukuri knife by Williams. Anyway, M390 on that by Lion Steel. But just for compare, to show you that I think this really falls more in line with the Osoraku Zukuri blade style than the Hira Zukuri, even though they're calling it a Hira. Anyway, that being what it may, we have an interesting knife. No jimping on the back here. I wish they had included a little bit, not because I feel I'm going to slip off, but just that tactile sensation you get from the jimping is nice. It is a two-way opener. You can use the flipper tab as I just did, or you can use this fuller, which has some very soft shoulders. And by that I mean that they rounded the groove here, the shoulders of the groove. It's all I can really, my terminology, the shoulders of the fuller, what you might call blood groove, but it's not really a blood groove. I prefer that they had a little sharper edge on the inside. Not sharp enough to cut you, but sharp enough to grab your skin, because I fail, as you can see, getting a good hold on that. And when your fingernail, which is very smooth, hits the blade, which is very smooth, at least in my case, it doesn't open too well. Probably if I did that, it would be a little bit easier. Anyway, I'm probably going to stick with the flipper tab on this guy. It is a Framelock folder with a hardened steel insert. There's your screw. It's a T6 for the hardened steel insert. That's a T8 for the pivot. And we got two T8s here near the clip, which they left in a plain titanium. You can see how that's sort of keeping its color as opposed to the darkening that I'm already seeing here from just handling it a little bit. So you may just want it to darken up and leave it that way, but if you want to refresh the anodization on any anodized titanium finish, just spray it with a little Windex. Color will pop right back. For how long, we don't know. About a half backspacer there, and a clip that does not transfer to the left side of the knife. Just about the right amount of tension here. It did go in and out of the pocket on a few tries since I've had it. Just came in the other day. Holds well. And this secondary grind here does give you this point, which on the pull cut or slash does give you some extra contact. You see, and this angles as opposed to the Williams knives I showed you, or the one that I showed you with the spectral carbon fiber, where that's flat. So you have a little more of a pronounced point there on that compound grind. That's going to give you a little bit more digging in on the draw cut. Let's see what they gave us for an edge out of the box. Not bad. Very nice. Yeah, it's a smooth edge with a little bit of bite, I noticed. Doesn't have as rough micro serrations as I generally like. Most factory edges are kind of buffed on as the final step, but I feel that this has just a little bit of bite. I think it would easily cut me if I put a little bit more pressure and a draw on there. See if I can wipe off the blade a little. Interesting blade, and as far as dimensions go, I think we've got, yeah, 8 inches. We're going to call that 8 inches. Pretty close. Got a blade length, I think they said 3.44. I'll go along with that. Do I have the box still? 346. Oh my. 3.46 inches. You can call that a ½ inch. In metric language, measurements, we've got 20 centimeters or 200 millimeters for the overall, and for the blade we've got about 86, 87 millimeters. Other measurements, blade stock in millimeters, 3.4. Handle thickness in millimeters, 12.7. And in imperial units, 0.13 for the blade stock, 0.49 for the handle, just squeezing in under half. What was I going to say? Under 4 ounces? No, doing the weight now. It's early, no coffee. Under 1/2 inch is what I meant to say. Duh. Yeah, senior moment. Let's go to grams first, and we can swing around to ounces. In grams, weight is 124 grams, and the weight is 4.38 rounding up ounces. Okay, got that out of the way. Action is very nice on bearings. Look at that. Nice drop shut action. Almost no effort to close that. Very fidgety knife. Whether you use the back flipper or the fuller, which again, man, they just shouldn't have smoothed it out that way. But I think they do that. I don't know why they do that. Maybe so it won't catch on anything. Maybe so you can't open it. Whatever, but I find the knives where they give you a sharp shoulder there to be much, much more user-friendly as far as middle finger flick goes. Taking another look at the blade style. So again, that's a Hira Zukuri style blade according to both my charts for Japanese style knives as well as Williams Blade Company design. So they call that a Hira Zukuri, not an Osoraku Zukuri. There's no double grind there, no compound grind. And it is very pointy. Again, that's the HZ4, little brother to the HZ6, their original one for Columbia River. And again, here is the Williams Osoraku Zukuri Integral Spectral Carbon Fiber. Is a lot of names to that. It's the OZF-SO1. I'm not sure they're even making that anymore, but this is the Osoraku Zukuri style blade where we've got that compound grind, which is what we got here. Here we have a straight edge. Here we have a dropping edge that actually gives you a bit more of a pronounced point. So that is interesting. How about a compare to Benchmade Griptilian? That's with the injection molded GRN, FRN sort of a handle. And it's just a tiny bit longer overall. And the blade very close to the same. Probably straight 3.5 inches on that guy. And then we've got the Ontario Rat 1. Likely no longer made, I'm not sure, I haven't checked. Much longer handle by about 1 inch. And about a 1/2 inch longer blade. Weight relieving, we got some. So if I put me white paper underneath there, I can get some reflection and show you that yes, indeed, got some significant weight relieving. And we've also got a few pockets on the clip side. Probably takes a good 1/2 ounce at least off. Getting it under that 5 ounce mark. Feels good. Balance point back here just a ways, okay? So kind of handle heavy. You know, because you got a shorter blade. How are we on centering? Looks to be perfectly centered. And pretty good blade to handle ratio, I would say. I don't think you'd want it much longer than that. They do clip it down, which is kind of nice. So right there, a little bit of a hint of a clip. Straight line, which lines up the point pretty much to the center of the handle, making it a stabby knife. And that big old belly with that compound grind meeting right there gives you just that extra cutting on the draw. You know, material is going to go in there almost like a recurve. Again, all I'm thinking is missing here is a little bit of jimping. Feels comfortable. Got this big swale in here for 4 fingers. You've got a rounded spine of the handle, if you want to call it that. Back of the handle fits nicely, just right into the palm. You can use it very nicely point down, but your edge is going to be out. If you roll it here, not entirely comfortable, but not impossible to get that edge in. The neutral handle that we have on these knives from Williams is perfect because no matter how you hold a knife, it's universal. Doesn't matter. This way, feels the same. The only downside of that is you may not, if you don't see how you're holding it or know how you pulled it out of your pocket, you may not know where the edge is. And, you know, you could easily do something like that. That wouldn't be too much fun. So that's the advantage there. I think I covered all of the salient points. Anyway, right about now, you're going to see my logo over here. And if you click on that logo, you can subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you already have, but if you haven't, welcome back, or welcome to the channel. Not welcome back. Welcome back, you old guys. And if you new guys want to subscribe, you click on that. It'll bring you to the link where you can do so. Hope you enjoyed the video, and be well and stay safe. Take care of yourselves.